Okay, let me do examples 1 and 2, but I may start with just example 1. You roll a number cubed. We've been doing a lot of that. So we're gonna roll for our cube. And you know, find the probability. So we're gonna find the probability that you roll a 2 or an odd number. So we just went through that. We don't have to draw our diagrams again. So let's first of all find out what's the probability that we roll a 2. Well, that's 1 out of 6, right? And what's the probability that we roll an odd? It's going to be 3 out of 6, right? Because we have 1, 3, and 5. So the probability of 2 or odd is 2. Now, before we actually calculate that, are there any in common? Well, this is the number 2, and this is 1, 3, and 5. So these are mutually exclusive, right? So there's nothing in common, so we can just straight add them. 1/6 plus 3/6 equals 4/6. Okay, or we reduce it to 2/3. Now, let's look at example 2. Again, we're rolling a number cube, same thing. And here, we're gonna say find the probability to roll even or prime. So we're gonna roll, what is the probability? Roll a cube, a number cubed. And what is the probability of even or prime? Well, let's figure out the probability of an even number. Even being 2, 4, 6. So we have 3 out of 6, right? That is even. And what is the probability that we have a prime number? Well, prime is going to be not 2. 2 is not prime. 2, 3, and 5 are all prime. So that's going to be 3/6. But we have some overlap, right? The number 2 overlaps in both, right? So we have an overlapping event, right? We have an overlap, which is 2 is overlapping. So that's one number that is overlapping, right? So the probability of even or prime is 3 out of 6 plus 3 out of 6 minus the number 2, which is 1 out of 6, right? 2 overlaps, it's in both. So we have to subtract 1 out of 6 to account for that. And so when you do that, you get 6 out of 6 minus 1/6, you get 5/6. So the probability is 5/6. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there with these 2 examples because we're gonna switch gears and gonna go from mutually exclusive and overlapping events to independent and dependent events. And then we'll end our chapter.